So there are four types or four inequality symbols. We have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So we have, if I can spell, so we have greater than, less than, greater than, less than, greater than, or equal to, and less than, or equal to. And these are our four main inequality symbols. Now you have this in the notes here, this slide. Yes, very top. So the first one is less than, is fewer than. These are kind of the main phrases we were talking about. If we see one of these two phrases, we are using a less than symbol, the symbol here. The next one is greater than, is more than. Either one of these is talking about the symbol here, greater than. Is less than or equal to, is at most, is no more than, is our less than or equal to. Greater than or equal to, or at least, no more or no less than. These are the wordings we see. If we see these, we're talking about this symbol here. Okay? And I believe at this point you've done inequalities at some point. Yes, you've dealt with these symbols. So when we look at this here, the first thing we're going to be looking at is sentences. This is probably on the first page still, yes? We're going to write these. We're going to write these. Now, we're not going to do too much in solving inequalities today. We're not going to do that today. But we're going to write some. We're going to see if numbers are solutions, and then graph. That's all we're doing today. Now, when we look at this here, a number w minus 3.5 is less than or equal to negative 2. So we're just going to go straight from left to right. A number minus 3.5, a number w. So what are we saying? W, what? Minus 3.5. Isn't that exactly what that says? A number w minus 3.5. A number w minus 3.5 is what? Is less than or equal to. So what's our less than or equal to symbol? This here, yes? And then the next part is to negative 2. So we just have negative 2. And that's our inequality statement. A number w, so w minus 3.5 is less than or equal to negative 2. And that's the answer. That's the answer for that one there. Any questions on this here? So the answer to the first one is w minus 3.5 is less than or equal to negative 2. And that's all we have to write for this here. We're just writing the statement. We're just turning this into an inequality. We ready for the next one? 3 is less than a number plus 5. So let's just start left to right. So it just says 3. Because is less than is one of our inequalities, yes? So this is here. So we have 3 is less than a number plus 5, a number n plus 5. So how would I write a number n plus 5? It'd just be what? That's it? That's it? That's all we have to do for this here? And we'll always read these left to right. We'll just go left to right. Go in order. Questions on this here? 0 is greater than or equal to twice a number x plus 1. So here's our inequality sign, greater than or equal to. But we have what on the one side? 0. On this other side here, we have twice a number plus number x plus 1. So how would we write this part? Well, twice a number x. So how do we twice something? Not by itself, but times it. 2x, and then what? Plus 0 is greater than or equal to twice a number plus 1. The main way, if we were going to multiply a number by itself, or the way it would be kind of wording the square of a number times itself. So square is normally when we talk about to the power 2. We have an x squared. Questions on this here? Write a sentence as an inequality. A number c plus 9.4 is greater than or equal to -6. So what would I write first? Then? We kind of familiar with these here? Yes. Awesome. I want you to try this one on your own. Try this one on your own, and then... So the answer for this is this here. 6 is greater than p minus 8. And that's it. That's all we have to do for this here. And most likely on the homework assignment in Big Ideas Math, it's going to have you, I think, drop numbers in. I don't think it'll have you type. It might. I don't know. B is fewer than negative, or B is fewer than 30.4. So what would we say? B is what? What is fewer than? Because we also have that chart, don't we? Because on the first page, because our symbol, we either have less than or is fewer than. So fewer than is our less than symbol. And that's it. -7/10 is at least, which one would that be? Yes. Is greater than or equal to. Twice a number, so we had that a little bit ago. 2k minus 4. So in some of these here, it's just lining them up. What does it match up to? Yes? And it probably would be helpful, especially on the test, to have those kind of matched up wording written on the review sheet so you can look back to it and reference it. Are we good with this here? Yes? The solution of an inequality is a value that makes the inequality true. An inequality can have more than one solution because we're talking all the values greater than a certain number or a certain value that will work. The set of all solutions of an inequality is called the solution set because there's going to be more than one value. When we talk about equations or equalities, there is normally a value. Absolute values had 2. They're a little special. But a solution to an inequality normally has a value. Well, for an equation, an inequality has multiple. We have a range. So we're not going to be solving anything yet. We're testing to see if a value is a solution. Makes the statement true. Makes the statement true. So we want to tell whether negative 4 is a solution of each inequality. And what that means is we're going to plug negative 4 in for the variable. We're going to plug it in. And it's see, does it give us a true statement? So here I'm going to plug negative 4 in for x. And when I plug it in, I'll get negative 4 plus 8 is less than negative 3. What is negative 4 plus 8? Is 4 less than negative 3? So is it a solution? Is negative 4 a solution for this one here? No, because it does not give us a true statement. So negative 4 is not a solution. Negative 4 is not a solution or is not in the solution set. No, it's not. It's not in the solution set. Okay, let's try it again. So again, we're going to plug negative 4 in for the variable x. So we're going to have what? Negative 4.5 times negative 4. And we want to see, is that greater than negative 21? Well, what is negative 4.5 times negative 4? Huh? Negative what? Negative 8 or 18? Is 18 greater than negative 21? It's bigger than it, isn't it? So is it part of the solution set? Yes. Yes, this is part of the solution set because it gives us a true statement. Because it gives us a true statement. Any questions on this here? You ready for the next part? Yes? Okay, so we're going to try this again with negative 6. I want you to try these two here and see if you can see if it is part of the solution set. So what we're doing is we're plugging negative 6 in for C to determine if it is a solution. So we'd have what? Negative 6 plus 4 is less than negative 1. Well, what is negative 6 plus 4? Is negative 2 less than negative 1? Because the bigger the negative, the smaller it is, yes? So this is a true statement. Because negative $2 is less than negative $1. You don't have as much money, yes? So we're saying the next one's false, so I'm going to plug negative 6 in for m. So we have 10 is less than or equal to 3 minus negative 6. Now you could plug this into the calculator, 3 minus negative 6, but a negative and a negative would make a positive. So really what we have here is 3 plus 6. And what is 3 plus 6? Is 9. Is 10 less than or equal to 9? It's greater than. It needs to be the other way if it were true. So this is no. It is not part of the solution set. Questions on this here? We good with this here? Okay. Let's try 2 more. In both of these here, we're plugging in negative 6. So what do I have here? 21 divided by negative 6 is greater than or equal to negative 3.5. Angel, what goes on the left side here? What is 21 divided by negative 6? Negative 3.5. Is this a true statement? Is negative 3.5 greater than or equal to negative 3.5? Because it is equal to. Because if it has that little line underneath it, the values can be the same, yes? Because that's the only time they can be the same. If it's just greater than or just less than, it can't be equal. So over here, we're going to do 4 times negative 6 minus 25 is greater than negative 2. Let's plug all that in the calculator. 4 times negative 6 minus 25. And let's see what we get. Negative 49. Is negative 49 greater than negative 2? No, it's a bigger negative, isn't it? Bigger negatives are smaller. The bigger the negative becomes, the smaller it actually is. No. Any questions on anything we've done so far? Any questions on any of this here so far? All right. Well, that brings us to the last thing, graphing inequalities. And I believe you've probably graphed inequalities so far at some point in your life, yes? Okay. And we graph an inequality. We'll call this 0, 1, 2, so negative 3. And we have a number line. On the homework, the number line will already be will be up there for you. You just have to pick which one you need, because so here we're talking about negative 3, yes? So at the point negative 3, we make a circle, yes? And the circle can be what? Opened or closed, yes? The circle is open when it's greater than or less than. It's closed, we fill it in when it's what? When it's equal to. When we have it being equal to, we close it, we fill it in. So here I have y is less than or equal to negative 3, yes? So do I fill the circle in? Because anytime we see an equal sign, we fill it in. And do we shade to the left or to the right? Is it going to go to the left or to the right? It's going to go to the left because it's less than. All the values that are smaller than it. And so on the homework assignment, you would select the one that looks like this, filled in and pointing to the left. And all you have to do is click on negative 3. And it'll do it for you. So you have to pick which one you want, open, circle, or close, and the direction it is going. Okay? On a test, if this were a test, in here, pencil, paper, I would take that as your answer. Because you are saying the same thing, aren't you? I believe probably in middle school they had you do 0 and all the other numbers. As long as you keep the smaller numbers on the left and bigger numbers on the right, draw it the way a number line should be, I'll take that. I'll take the bare minimum information. Okay? I'm not going to make you fill in an entire number line. So let's see here. So I'm going to do it for these here just so we can kind of see what our numbers are. So the main focus of this here is 2 is less than x, yes? So 2 is our main point. Would it be open or closed? It's open because it's not equal to, is it? We don't have the equal to sign. So it's open. Now we're going to shade to the right or to the left? To the right, because we're saying x is bigger than it, yes? So we're going to shade to the right. We're talking about all the values greater than x. And that's it. I feel like y'all have got the hang of these, yes? Let's look at this one. Actually, let's go two more. This one. Let's do number 8. I want to do number 8. What is our main point of focus? What's the main number we're focusing around? I need a circle around it. Opened or closed? Closed, because it is equal to. Now, do we shade to the left or to the right? Which one's bigger? 1.4. And if you, on this one here, you're kind of getting stuck. Which way do I shade? Which way do I shade? Check a point. 2 is greater than 1.4, yes? Plug it in. 1.4 is this a true statement? Is 1.4 greater than or equal to 2? No, 2 is bigger, isn't it? So that's a false statement. That means we don't shade, it's not in the shaded region. We shade the other direction, the direction away from 2. Y'all see how that works? So if you get stuck, we can grab a number that is on one side or the other, and if it makes a true statement, we shade that way. Or we shade away from the number if it's false. Questions on this here? How about this one? V is greater than or equal to the square root of 36. What's the square root of 36? It's just 6, isn't it? So what is this really saying? V is greater than or equal to 6. Because it's equal to, we fill it in, and then we shade to the right, because we're saying it's bigger. It's greater than. It's greater than that number. Now, I do the curly swirls because it's easier to see where you shade. Because sometimes it's hard, you got to really shade all the way around it, yes? That's why I do the curly stuff, because it's easier and you don't have to write as much or try to shade as much. But that's it with that there. Questions on this here? Questions on any of this so far? So we have 2 last problems, some real world application kind of problems. The graphs show the height restriction h in inches for 2 rides at an amusement park. Write an inequality that represents the height restriction for each ride. Ride A. So what is ride A saying? So height is what? So we know it's dealing with 48, yes? It's filled in it. So we do have equals, yes? Now we just need to figure out, is it greater than it or less than it? Is h greater than or equal to 48 or less than or equal to 48? It is greater. Because our heights are going to be bigger than that number. So it's greater than it. How about ride B? So we know we're dealing with height still, h. But we need to figure out greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. And it's just less than because the circle is not filled in, and we're looking at the numbers smaller than it, than the numbers smaller than it. Questions on this here? We good? The graph shows the age restriction in years for two types of movie tickets. Right inequality represents age of each ticket. We'll call age A. So here, we're looking at 12, yes? A would be what? Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or just less than? Less than 12, yes? A would be less than 12? Because we're talking about all the numbers that are decreasing going this way. How about ticket B? 4, because the circle is shaded in. And most likely we're talking about senior citizen discount, because there's, I think if I remember correctly, that's at like 62, somewhere in there. And that's it. Now really we would add, for the first one, this here. You don't have to write that down, but we normally would put that in. Why would I put that in for the age range of tickets? I mean, this is where I'm going to stop the video, so go on and do the homework assignment.